Hello, and welcome to another episode of Manifest Actual Play. I'm Tommy Cotton, and with me as always are Seth Lilly, Dan Barron, Addie Gia, and we're here to bring you some cool sci-fi western actual play. But before we start, I'm going to pass it over to Addie. Addie, do we have any announcements?
We have a couple of announcements today. So the first one is the one that you hear every week. If you love the content that we bring to you week in and week out, for the most part, then you can follow and subscribe to our channel. Following is free. It lets you know when we go live, like tonight, or post new videos. And if you have the time and money to subscribe, you can always hit that subscribe button. All of the proceeds go back into the show to make it a better experience for you. Um, and if you have Amazon Prime, you get one free, or I guess complimentary, Twitch channel subscription with your Prime membership. So you can use that with us, your absolute favorite channel, to give us monies without actually you having to spend any, which is kind of a win-win scenario. You can also, if you love us and you want your friends to love us, you can also gift subscriptions, which is very cool too. So that's pretty much it for that. Uh, yeah, I don't have anything else. Subscribe. um, then
Do it.
the
Do it.
um, the next announcement is that the Manifest pre-orders are still open for a short while longer. So if you want to play Manifest on your own, grab that quick start guide, get entrance to our backer and pre-order only Discord. The way to do it is to go to our backer kit. You can find your way there either by Googling Manifest the RPG and going through our website, or going to Backer Kit and Googling Manifest the RPG, or going to Kickstarter. All of those links will bring you to the place where you can pre order some really cool stuff, including some dice and pins and add ons, which are awesome. So, do that. Grab your copy, because once the store closes, we won't open it again until all of our shipping has been fulfilled for our pre-orders and our backers. So there will be a time when you can't grab the system. Ugh. So do it now. You won't, uh, or whatever. Awkward. So
Bringing out
and
the
then
hard sell.
Yeah. Then the last announcement is a change up from our usual week to week. Today is National Voter Registration Day. You know, it's like National Secretary's Day, except for everybody can go and register to vote. There are many different ways to find how to register to vote, or if you're already registered. One of the ones that I know is a great way to do it is by going to nerdsvote.com. It is where all of your favorite celebrities are saying to go. So obviously, we're celebrities and we're telling you to go there too.
We're
Um,
just like Felicia Day.
the same. So that's nerdsvote.com. If you're a US citizen, or are eligible to vote in the United States, please do that. Voting is important. Your vote matters, even if you don't feel like it does, because there's always stuff down the ticket that you could break a tie on. So have your voice heard. It matters. It matters. It matters. It matters. Please go do it. Rock that vote. Hashtag 1990s. um, and that is all of our announcements for tonight. Back to you, Tommy.
Okay, well, um, with that, let's get ready to jump into our actual play. Of course, we have a very fun little intro video we like to play that showcases all of these beautiful characters up close and personal. So let's all get ready to play some Manifest actual play. All right. So, last time, and the times before, on Manifest Actual Play, Kinsey, Pax, and Roland have been in Tobias Station for quite some time now, a few months. They started a saloon, and they decided that they were also going to start a revolution. So far, the saloon's been going pretty well. They
The target. You said that.
the target of
Feels
their
needlessly mean.
the target of their revolution is the chief of security, the captain of security, on Tobias Station, Captain Morales, Deandra Morales. These three drifters have found out that she is kind of like grooming urchins, making them like basically giving them a life of crime as their only option, and if they're good enough at it, then like when they grow up, she hires them to be her extremely corrupt security force. Not wanting to stand for that, they decided to establish themselves as people in Tobias Station, and they started Umbra's, a very successful saloon in the lower levels. However, by establishing themselves, they've become more and more embroiled with the criminal element on that traffics through Tobias Station. The various criminal syndicates known as the Family all have a presence here, including one that they've crossed before, the Gatti family. And so the Gatti family basically sent an assassin who kidnapped Kinsey. The assassin happened to be a member of the Dead Man's Gang, a gang that these drifters have betrayed in the past, so she had the extra motivation to kill them all. So she kidnapped Kinsey, Sierra Phillips kidnapped Kinsey, held him captive, and tried to lure Roland and Pax out of the station so that she could kill all three of them. She almost succeeded in killing Pax, but ultimately was defeated, and then Kinsey and their ally, Marshal Leonard Yen, who reappeared in the station, were able to save Pax from her almost mortal wound. While that was going on, Roland was starting to make waves in Tobias Station. He approached a member of the Sheffield family named Gray Foster and basically got him to agree to kind of a quid pro quo type arrangement, where he could at least try and get the Gattis off of their backs. And then he went and pissed off Captain Morales in her own office, and then approached the Acosta representative on Tobias Station, Severina Acosta. He's trying to have a meeting with her to try and continue his grifting ways. Meanwhile, Kinsey and Pax get back, and they're now separated. Kinsey and Pax are at Umbra's. Roland is being held in an Acosta safe house. They can communicate via radio. However, Kinsey and Pax, it's like we're moving into the next day, but before the end of the night, Kinsey and Pax were given basically a huge bit of news, which was their trusted little adopted urchin, Harry, has been reporting to Captain Morales this whole time and spying on them, which is pretty bad. However, they did actually keep Harry at a little bit of an arm's length, so Harry didn't know that they were planning a full-on revolution. They just, so they haven't shared everything with her, but a significant amount of information has definitely made its way to Captain Morales. The only other little bit of information is there's one other family involved in all this crap, and it's the Kanoom family, the most prominent family on Tobias Station. Their representative, Salem Bahara, has employed these three drifters to investigate the murder of his lover, Ephraim, who was discovered in the vents by our very own Pax. That's the rundown of the mad web ball of yarn that we are trying to untangle here in Tobias Station. When we last left, Roland was waiting in the safe house, and Kinsey and Pax were getting some much-needed shut-eye, Pax sharing a bed with Marshal Leonard Yen. That's basically, we're moving into the next day unless anyone has anything that they're trying to achieve in the wee hours of the morning.
Have has Pax told me that she sent an LRC to my family?
I think.
I told you that.
Yeah, Roland told you.
Okay, I wanted to make sure somebody told me because I think probably at some point in the wee hours of the morning, Kinsey's going to wake up and be like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no." And I'll get dressed and pretty much immediately leave unless somebody tries to stop me.
Where are you going?
There's a nomad pack on the way to the city that I should probably stop.
Okay, have fun.
All right. So you rush out past a tired-looking Harry who's kind of been manning the bar overnight, and as you're like leaving, you see not Harry. I always forget her name. Hazel. You see Hazel like coming in to work, and she like rubs her eyes, sees you run out, and she goes, "You all right?"
Just fine. Yes. I got something to take care of. I'll be back.
Okay.
Yep.
And you scoot past her in the hallway, and you rush out to the LRC. You know where the LRCs are. Nothing stops you. You don't get kidnapped along the way.
Something goes well.
You are able to get to the LRC tower and send a message to your family to let them know that you're not kidnapped anymore and they don't need to come here.
Unless they want to see the bar. If they're already on their way, they'd like to see the bar, they can drop in.
Okay, so you add that too. It's not just a don't come, everything's fine, false alarm. You're like, hey, false alarm, but also I have a pretty cool bar if you want to swing by.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you send that LRC out. No one harasses you. You do, I think, I want you to roll an observe test for me along the way.
Interesting. All right.
I love how paranoid this security team looks and is, and I don't even have to do anything, and it furthers my plans to sow paranoia among them. To just see Kinsey sprinting at like 5 a.m. Like, boss, I don't know what he's doing.
All right. So I rolled 3 dice, and one of them was a 20, so I believe it is a misfire. But it was a successful test.
It's not a misfire because it's got to be half your.
I thought it was half rounded down.
Oh, it is. Thank you for reminding me how the rules of my game work.
Not that I want to misfire.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is half rounded down in this instance. Yeah, so you roll 3
but
dice.
I got 2 successes as well.
Cool. All right, sweet. So, yeah. So it's just a misfire. You do succeed. So it's not a grave misfire. So it's not like you like immediately get like nabbed by the security. You don't get kidnapped a second time or anything like that.
Right.
But
lose another finger, you know.
Yeah. So you start to realize you're being like kind of shadowed, and it freaks you out at first. You don't know who it is. You just realize you hear footsteps behind you, so you like don't go straight to Umbra's, you like take another turn, and then you realize that they still are following you, and you see like shadows, like figures in the shadows, and you start freaking out and panicking a little bit because you know you're being followed, and you did just get kidnapped. You're still missing a finger from it, so you now have in your moment of panic, you are sure you're being followed. And you've made the error of like not going directly back to Umbra's. You thought maybe I'll shake them, and you went into like a different part of the lower levels, and now you are kind of like you're cut off from Umbra's, knowing that there's definitely more than one person following you at this moment.
Great. So what part of the lower levels am I? Am I like in a shopping area? Is there a store that I can duck into?
No, you basically you're in like apartment rows. There are definitely like storefronts nearby, but they might not be open this early in the morning.
Sure. All right. I'll just kind of slow down immediately and just kind of like loiter around this area and see if I can get a good look at the person who was following.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, you hang out here in the lower levels, like in this like apartment area, kind of like awkwardly loitering where there's not like a clean place for you to do so, and you're kind of like in between two doors leading into apartments, and one door opens up, and you just like this woman walks out like holding some stuff in like a sack that she's like got over her shoulder, like maybe it's laundry, but she definitely drops it and like stumbles back into her room because she is startled to see you standing there, and she lets out a scream.
Oh, sorry, it's all right.
Oh my goodness! What are you doing? You just nearly gave me a heart attack. What are you doing? You don't live around here.
No, sorry, just going for a walk. I suffer a bit of insomnia, and I'm just wandering around, the area. So sorry, you're all right.
Wow, the area. I'm sorry. What is your name?
Ken Charlotte, madam.
Ken Charlotte.
Yes.
Hey, you own that bar, Umbra's, down the way.
Umbra's, that's right. Yes, I'm a business owner.
I don't care much for that bar.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear that. What would make the place more inviting for you?
Well, for starters, and and she starts like talking to you, and at this moment you do actually, like, while you're talking, you glance and you see like there was a scream, so someone came around the corner, and it was it was a member of the security team who now sees you talking to this woman and has to like awkwardly kind of like patrol the other way. And she's like, well, for starters, you think you're too good for the lower levels. You're trying to bring in upper crust type stuff with fancy ceilings and your cool little cocktails. When it comes to drinking, whiskey is all you need.
So a simpler menu, perhaps, just, the main spirits and something simple to add to them, nothing fancy.
Hey, hold on a second. I ain't gonna give you any trade secrets or nothing without getting compensated. I know my way around a saloon or two. And if you want me to come in and consult on your drink menu, now that's a whole nother bargain. If you want to have that conversation, well, I mean... Hey, wait, what are you doing here? You don't live around here.
No, as I said, I suffer a little bit of insomnia, just kind of walking around, but any chance that I get to improve business, that's I'll take it, of course.
I don't trust it. You go on and get.
Oh, you sure you don't want to finish? I mean, I could give you free drink vouchers if you like.
No. You go on and get. You're up to no good. I can see it in your eyes. What's wrong with your hand? Get out of here.
I know. I haven't got it fixed yet. All right. Well, so sorry. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate it.
And she like mean mugs you as you walk out. And there's already like a couple other people who've opened their doors to like see what's going on as this woman accosts you in the middle of the hallway. Yeah, you're able to leave. That one security guard had to like kind of like walk awkwardly out, so you're able to go that way and make your way back to Umbra's. There's another point where you do realize you're still kind of being followed, but you spot it's a security guard again, who's like kind of catching your trail as you make it to Umbra's.
All right. Well, if it's the security, then they already know that I work at Umbra's, so it's not a problem if I lead them back there. Yes, and I'll enter the bar again.
Yeah. In there is, Harry's not leaving yet, but Hazel is getting some of the stuff set up. They're kind of like talking and everything. You're able to walk in. Pax, I assume, is still asleep. Cool. Kinsey, do you go back to sleep, or you just try and stay up for the rest of the day?
I'm already up. I should just drink some coffee and maybe make a little breakfast.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do that. And there's a point a little bit as you're like starting to make breakfast where the door to the bar opens up and Harry walks in again, kind of like holding like her arms in front of her sheepishly. She goes, is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. There's some very dangerous people on their way to come save my life, and I had to make sure they didn't come in guns blazing. Everything's fine now.
I mean, so what's gonna happen to Roland? Do you have a plan?
I find when it comes to Roland, the less I interfere, the better. He knows how to contact us. We've got the radio on. You did keep the radio charged, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I did.
Good, yeah. So he will contact us if he needs help. And if he's gone for too long, then we'll know to do something about it. But I think there's very little possibility of him at least being killed. Maybe taken prisoner. I don't think he's going to be killed.
Maybe don't call off the dangerous people coming into town, right? Could be useful.
Well, hopefully they'll be dropping by to see the bar. It's my mother and my sister, oddly enough. I'm not very used to saying those words.
You got family, and they're dangerous.
Oh, they're quite dangerous. Actually, I do hope they drop by. I'd love to introduce you to them. I think you'd get along with them.
I don't know. I figure y'all don't want me around here too much longer. After what I did. I mean, I get it. I understand.
Henry, do you think we're going to fire you because you happen to be working for the family?
I mean, because Morales had me keep an eye on y'all. I mean, I figure, Roland's in danger, and it's my fault. And I figure, I mean, if it's okay with you guys, I'd like to stay here a little bit. I'd like to, make sure he's fine. I mean, he's an asshole, but
he knows.
I didn't want anything to happen. I didn't, you guys were up to something. I don't know what you guys were doing. You were being all shady, and this whole I'm gonna help teach you to be a better thief, like, it's too good to be true. So and I mean, Morales and we got history, and she's been taking care of me for some time. So
I know it.
I don't know. Maybe it's better if I leave you guys alone. Then Morales can't.
Why didn't we wait to see what Roland has to say, shall we? I mean, he is the person most directly effective. You are obviously staying on a provisional basis, mostly because I really don't want to have to hire another bartender.
Okay. All right.
Right?
Yeah.
You want some biscuits and gravy before you go?
Well, if it's all the same to you, I think I'll stay for now.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to pay me extra, nothing. I'll just maybe I'll go play some cards when Eugene gets here or something. We'll play money or something. I don't know. I'll stay out of the way, but I wanna see what happens.
Yes, of course you do. Thanks for sticking around, Harry. Lots of people cut and run in this situation, and it takes a lot of character to stick around.
Well, that's nice of you to say. I'll take some biscuits though.
That's what I thought.
So she takes a little plate, and then goes back out to the bar, and then you're able to make breakfast. It's a standardly slow morning. Eli doesn't show up until like the mid-afternoon, and you get a couple customers who come in. Eugene shows up and starts like playing some cards. So you get a couple of like the lower levels, like high tier for lower levels type, like card sharks, who are like kind of playing some games with Eugene. And there's actually this like kind of cute moment where like these like old like just like really down on their luck like card players who like the best they can do is like the best bar in the lower levels. They kind of, as you walk out to like serve someone some food, you look over and you see that they are all playing with play money with Harry. They've taken like the chips. There's no spurs off to the side like in Eugene's caddy. Like no one's playing with real money right now. They're all just kind of like playing with chips. And there's like like Harry's stack is suspiciously big, as like these two card players are like staring her down, and then like they're like, I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. I think she has it. You know? And like Harry like kind of like squirms a little awkwardly, and he goes, "Yeah, you got me again, Harriet." And he like folds his cards, and she's like, "I blocked you." Flips over her cards, doesn't have anything. They're like definitely having some fun with her, just trying to like cheer her up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And eventually, Pax and Roland in your respective locations do wake up.
Great. I do what I've done every morning, but now has a mechanical benefit. I get in the shower, and I just sort of imagine how my day might go, and what I might need to say to someone at any given moment. And I'm going to use my new talent, Rehearsal.
All right.
And I'm not dressed to impress, right?
Naked here in the shower. No, you don't get dressed to impress or first impression when doing your rehearsal.
I mean, first impression, duh, but like I have pretty high self-esteem. Okay, well that's about what you'd expect, given how much I've invested in this. So that's a 5-hit rehearsal.
Nice. Okay, so that is 5 uses of just a automatic -2 that you can put on someone during a social situation, specifically on social tests.
Yeah.
Or to resist your social tests is the best way to throw it down. But yeah, basically you can give them negatives. It's a free double bamboozle. Okay, cool. So yeah, you sit there in the shower, the water is fine. It's definitely better than the communal bathhouse in the lower levels that you've had to use up until this point.
It sucks.
Which is like gross. So like it's at least like by those standards what you've been living in for like 3 months, like this is a nice shower. If it was like in like right now, it would be like a cramped and not great shower with like pretty like weak water pressure. But the fact that the water is clean and warm like consistently is like, oh.
The real thing is that I'm alone, which is a huge bonus.
It allows you to kind of sit there and like, think through things and practice some lines and hear them echo back to you and go, okay, all right.
Nah, that's not hitting me right. Nah, not that. Maybe.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Pax, how do you spend your morning? I don't know if you rise particularly early, but Marshall Yen wakes up not too long after Kinsey wakes up.
Yeah, well, I usually get up like decently early. I don't really sleep in, but like whatever kind of my normal get up time is when I get up. It's like clockwork,
Okay, yeah. So like maybe you wake up just as like Marshall Yen is like already climbed down from the loft and is like putting on his boots.
Morning.
Oh, hi. Morning. I don't know. I mean, maybe this is normal for you, but whatever Kinsey's cooking, it smells pretty good. So I'm gonna go get a bite to eat if that's all right.
Yeah.
All right. And maybe if we get the chance, the 3 of us can put our heads together and figure out how to get rolling back.
Yeah. That
All
sounds
right.
good.
He like pushes his hair back. It's a little bit longer now. He like pushes it back and like squares his hat on his head. And then he like starts to walk out and then like looks up at you and like puts his hand on like the edge of like your loft, like raises it up and puts it up there. He goes, "Last night was nice, actually."
Yeah.
All right. I figure I should stick around for at least a little while I mean, Roland's in the situation. I want to see it through to the end at least. But I got a little while longer that I can string
Leonard.
along.
I'd like it if you stayed.
All right. Me too.
Okay.
All right. Did you want a plate, or you probably know what you want? It's fine.
I'll be down in a minute.
And yeah, he steps out, and Kinsey, you're in the kitchen, and Leonard Yen walks out and goes, "Morning, Kinsey." Breakfast smells good. Do you mind if I?
Oh, grab yourself a plate, of course.
All right, and he like rummages around like in his pant pocket for a second, and he goes, "Is it you want a spur, or I don't want to use up your?"
Just take some, Leonard. I think that you've been on enough adventures with us now to be considered, I guess, an extended part of our route, kid.
Your what? He says as he's like kind of like moving some eggs onto his plate.
Roadkin, the family that you choose on the road. It's a nomad thing.
I was gonna say, yeah, that sounds like nomad talk. Kinsey, are you a nomad?
Not officially.
All right. He like sits down, takes a couple bites of his food, and goes, What is this? This is just roper rat, right?
A little bit of roper ride, a little bit of gravy, some biscuits, and Munson spice.
Munson spice. I never heard of, but I mean, is that kind of smoky thing I get in the back? That's
right. A little bit of smoke, a little bit of heat, a little bit of savory. It's a nice spice.
Keep talking like that, I'm gonna think you're trying to sell me something.
Oh, no. Just know the name. Keep it in mind.
Okay. And then Pax comes out.
Good morning.
Morning. Some biscuits and gravy, if you like.
Oh, no. I'm just gonna grab some fruit. It smells great.
Yeah.
Did we hear from Roland at all?
Nothing so far.
Okay. Did Harry head out?
No, should be still over there at the poker table.
Did you stake her?
They're doing it for play money. I think her fellow card sharks are humoring her to perhaps pick up a mood a little bit.
Sure. Okay. Then I grab a piece of fruit. And just be like, I guess if we haven't heard from Roland, I guess we'll just wait. Right?
Yes, our favorite thing to do.
Leonard goes, wait till we hear. So we just sit here then. All right. Okay. Yeah, we wait. Let's wait.
Did you have another idea? Roland's kind of the ideas guy, so.
I mean, if you have something, we'll take it.
Yeah, but he Roland usually says something like totally outlandish, and then Kinsey goes, "Oh, I could see how we could do that," and I go, what if we took back 7 steps and did a smaller part of that and see how it goes? And then Roland says, no, it's fine. And then we do the first thing, and it usually kind of goes sort of terribly, until I have to fight somebody.
Right.
Well, that checks out with my recollection. No, I mean, hey, better safe than sorry. I don't know that I have any particular plan. I don't know this area as well as you presumably do. If you don't think there's some way to like bust him out, or if you're actually
I don't even
interested in him not being busted out, then waiting seems like the only option to me.
I think he's not interested in being busted out.
At least not yet.
I would love for him to be here already. I don't really like not knowing where he is and not really being able to help him, and like him being alone, and like, you know, he's gotten out of worse things, I think. Probably. He's definitely, I mean, it's not as if they're like a bird, so.
Not yet. I mean, yes.
The second time birds comes up around me. Is there something I'm missing here?
Oh, yeah, we went to an oasis in the Badlands.
Much like the very roperite you're eating. We found ourselves surrounded, hidden in the cave, far away.
Oh, yeah, and then you sit there and regale Marshall Yen with some stories. Do you continue on, like telling him a little bit, like get him caught up on all your adventures leading up to here? Mm-hmm. Or is it just the roperite almost killed Roland? The bird almost got Roland once. That time Roland died to a bird.
Why not tell him the whole story?
Okay.
Yeah,
in a very nice, inflated storytelling fashion.
Right. Everything is a little bit faster, a little bit bigger.
I can't help but notice in your version of the story, we are surrounded by birds. Only me while you're up in a cave.
I mean, technically, we were surrounded from a further distance.
And also, you refused to get into the cave, so...
So what you're saying is we.
Yeah. So the day continues on. Do you have a thing, Bex?
Yeah. So about the time we get to sort of the like oasis-ish part, you know, I'm gonna like I pat Leonard on the back, and then I'm like, I'll be right back, Kinsey, and I head out to the front to see how it's going, and also like if like the game at all has broken up, or anything like is happening out front. We should probably pay attention to that a little bit.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, the Harry is no longer at the card table. Actual cards are being played now, and she's just kind of sitting at a table alone, messing with like a knife, like kind of whittling like a like scrap piece of wood, nervously, and then she looks up and sees you, and then like averts her eyes and goes back to like whittling.
Sure. So I'm gonna grab like a water or something, a tea or a coffee, something, and then grab two of them, and I'm gonna bring one over to her. Hi.
Hey. Any news yet?
Not yet.
Is there anything I can do? Do you want, I mean, I know a lot of ways around. I could maybe, try and see what's going on, or I mean, I know a lot of people around the station. I mean, I could maybe find something out. I could go to Acosta territory, try to find out where they're keeping them.
Is that safe for you to do?
I mean, it's just another day.
That's not really an answer to the question.
Well, I don't think anything I do on a normal basis is safe. Most of the time. I mean, safest I've been has been hanging out in this bar, slinging drinks, and even that, I was in the middle of something that's going on. So even that wasn't so safe.
Yeah. So if you feel like you should do that, if you want to, I won't stop you. But Roland is good at what he does, and so I am waiting for any indication that something has gone wrong. Or he would like us to come pick him up. I don't really know where he is. We don't know where he is. And that would probably be moderately useful. But honestly, Harry, I kind of would rather have you here.
Why?
Because if you... I feel like you feel like this is your fault. And I think that you would push more than you need to help because you feel guilty. But the only person who is mad at you is you. Kinsey and I, and I'm sure Roland, have done similar things or worse when we were in a spot like yours. It wasn't a thing that you could say no to. Not really. The only thing you could have done differently is told us earlier, but you tried. You tried.
I mean,
like, not very hard, but you did. Right?
I thought about it more like, I mean, you guys are really, been really good to me, and I don't know, I don't want to go into it. I just, yeah, I feel like, if there's anything I can do to make things a little better, I'm willing to do it, but also I don't really want to, go up against Morales or anything like that.
I don't think you should. I don't think you should go up against Morales, especially not alone. Like that, if being out from under her thumb was a move you wanted to make, we would make it together. Right? I didn't just pick you out of nowhere and decide that you were a convenient thing to have around.
Well, I mean, you had to get Kinsey's money back.
I didn't need to get Kinsey's money back. That's not. You could have kept it. And it wouldn't have made a difference.
Could make a difference now.
It would make a difference to you.
If there's, maybe they want a ransom or something. I don't know. I don't know how you can sit here so calm, just waiting. I mean, Roland's good. He knows how to get in someone's head, that's for sure. I don't know. Now that he's not here, I feel nervous.
Yeah. Well, do you want to know a secret?
Sure.
I'm dying inside with worry.
What are you, drunk?
No. Just, you don't have to show people how you feel. And there are times when you shouldn't, right? It doesn't do Roland any good for me to panic and fly off the handle and storm to wherever I think he is and beat up a bunch of people and get him out. I could exfiltrate him and we would leave the station and we would never come back. We could burn all of those bridges, all of the hard work we've put into this place, the relationship with you and kind of this home we've made.
Anton Granger.
Yeah. And and we could I could do that. I could figure out where Roland is, pluck him out of danger, and in a moment of like rage and panic and it wouldn't do anybody any good. And so instead of doing that, I'm talking to you. And I'm talking to Kinsey, and I'm talking to Marshall Yen, and
Yeah, what's with him? Who is that guy? He's cute. He's real
What?
cute.
Yeah.
He's a good looker.
Yeah.
He looks at you a lot.
I don't. Well, okay, but we saved his life a long time ago, and in a different life, I would like him very much.
A different life. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So make of what the moment is. We've got some downtime because we're waiting for Roland. And I just have to believe that he's gonna be okay. That he's not gonna infuriate someone that so much that they just shoot him or something.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to imagine a lot of situations where someone wants to shoot Roland.
Yeah, no, I know. But basically, I guess the thing is like I grew up really guarded, right? A lot of stuff happened in my life that made me not really trust people and not really talk much and not really open up. And so I had a lot of practice not reacting to stuff because it's all about the goal. It's all about the mission. The end result, you've decided in a calm moment that the end result is something that you want, and you have to trust yourself that you made those decisions. And so like when you get angry, like you don't rise to the occasion in a moment of like chaos. You have to be clear-headed. And so this is just a different kind of chaos. We decided when we heard from Roland to listen to him. So now we have to trust that when we made that decision, we were acting and thinking clearly. So I'd like you to stay here, and I'd like you to stay here. Unless you want to go visit Salem or something like that, or you have people that you need to take care of.
He's busy.
I'd like you to stay with us at the bar. I think that what you've done is by telling us is very courageous, and I think it does put you in a little bit of danger. And I'd like it if you were somewhere that I could protect you.
Okay. Sure.
Now, drink your juice or whatever that is. I just grabbed it. I don't know. Do you like coffee? Is it coffee? It's coffee. Do you want coffee?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
She doesn't drink it.
You can always say no. Don't lie to me.
Roland. It gets into the middle of the day, about. And you're still locked in this kind of garden apartment. I mean, it's not a garden. It's, you know, the whole place is a garden apartment, kind of. The entire station is underground.
It's underneath ground.
Yeah.
But I don't think it counts as underground.
Sure. Anyways, you're in this little small apartment that have stairs that go up to the door. And you hear the door unlock. What are you up to at this moment?
I don't know. What passes for entertainment in Tobias Station?
There's some books in this apartment you could read.
Yeah, I've read both books in this apartment.
Yeah. So you're sitting there, you got a book, and the door opens up, and in walks a woman in a nice like jacket, really shined like boots with spurs on the back of them, and she kind of walks in. She's got dark black hair, dark eyes, a scar, just a little tiny scar on her chin that like kind of like shines bright on her face, and she walks in, looks around, sees you, and goes, "All right. What was your name?"
I'm Roland Hollis.
All right, stand up, Mr. Hollis.
Yeah, I stand up.
And she walks over to you, and she goes, "I'm gonna pat you down.
Ch.
Anything I should know?"
This is not me hesitating in character. This is me hesitating out of character because I don't. I think the answer to that is genuinely no.
Basically, is there anything? If there's anything hidden on you that you want to remain hidden that isn't in your secret pockets,
Nah.
Okay, cool.
Nah, I don't even think I brought my rifle because what would I even do with it?
It'd also go against your like kind of helpless act that you did to get in here. Running in fucking armed to the teeth. Yeah, okay. What do you have in your secret pockets? I know you filled it up with some spurs before, but what else is in there now?
It's got spurs. It's certainly got my portable fan.
Uh-huh.
I think the radio is probably in the secret pockets because that makes sense.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anything else. I don't own anything else that I'm not just wearing.
Sure.
So it's like the grav stability harness is I'm wearing. The filtration mask I think is not on, but is around my neck, and I imagine people in Tobias Station just have them, especially if they live in the lower levels.
Yeah. And you and your Omni tools on your
Omni tool is woven into the clothing. So
yeah. So she kind of pats you down, sees clocks the grav stability harness. You see her consider for a second doing something about it, and then decides to leave it. Pats down the rest of you. Any spurs you have that aren't in your hidden pocket, she does take out and sit on the table. And then she stands back up and she goes, "All right. Just to be clear, you try anything at all, I'm right outside that door."
What is Jimmy when it's a woman?
It's Jimmy. They're called Jimmy.
Right, but so like I can call them James as sort of like a snide, like I don't respect your profession.
Sure, you can call him James. It works. It works the same.
Yeah, James is also a girl's name.
Oh, sure. I don't want to tip my hand yet. Okay, sure.
All right. And she steps up, looks to her left, nods, and then steps to the right. And the door frames a second woman, a little bit taller, not as athletically built. She walks in. She has a high-collared jacket that is sealed with like kind of a pearl clasp right on her neck, like a choker. And it kind of opens up midway down to kind of go into like coattails. Then she has like high-waisted, form-fitting pants and very tall like riding boots. She walks in, taking off some gloves as she does, and slides them into her jacket.
This is an excellent visual, Tommy, because like there's nowhere to ride your horse in this town. I love it.
And her hair is pulled back in two braids that kind of meet in the back of her head. They're very long. It goes like past her waist. She regards you with her like dark, almost black eyes, and sizes you up and goes, "Mr. Hollis, Severina Acosta. Pleasure to make your acquaintance."
I shake her hand. Does the Jimmy said she was going to be outside? Is she like waiting by the door?
You don't see her now. The door is open.
Okay. But she's not in the room anymore, basically.
At the moment, yeah.
Cool.
But whatever you're thinking does probably get slightly shunted to the side as she goes, "Walk with me?"
Sure, of course.
And she steps up like the rest of the steps and like reaches out a hand to like gesture for you to follow her.
Yeah, I'd follow.
She turns to the left, starts walking, and you see the Jimmy is right there. She watches you go and waits like about 10 paces before she starts following.
Mm-hmm.
Severina leisurely walks through the halls, which are conspicuously empty at the moment. She turns to the side to like regard you, and she goes, "So, tell me whatever it is you wanted to tell me." You are in rare company, Mr. Hollis. It is not often that someone I do not know is able to arrange a meeting so quickly. You have my curiosity.
I imagine it's not often you find a good friend of the Canoe Lieutenant in Tobias Station dead in the vents.
So your little story that you told my guards, nothing more than a tale.
That's exactly what I told them.
Tell me, why do you want to meet with me?
Because from what I can tell, one of two things has happened. The first, which is patently absurd, is that you had Ephraim killed in a wild, ununderstandable act against a good friend of yours. Or, what seems more likely, is someone else has had Ephraim killed in an effort to leave a bomb that they can set off whenever they like in the middle of Tobias Station to ruin the family's relations here.
And which do you think it is?
I mean, the first one is absurd, so it must be the second one.
You do not know me. I do not know you. How is it so absurd to think that someone in my standing could be incapable of such a thing? It is quite the assumption to make, Mr. Hollis.
Perhaps I've been unclear. I think if you killed a good friend of yours' lover, you would have told him to his face.
Strange for you to have such a good idea of what I would or would not do. What is it you want to do? That is what interests me.
Recently, I had a conversation with Captain Morales in which she implied that the two of you were quite good friends. Whether or not that's true, Morales has recently made it her business to make my life challenging. And the only person I can think of with both the means and the opportunity to benefit from this bomb planted in Tobias Station is her. And so if the two of you are such good friends, I imagine you might want to know that about your good friend.
It is true. Morales has been a very, very useful asset for some time now. But I understand you have a pretty good read on Morales. You have a good read on me. What is your read on Gray Foster? It seems you have many friends throughout the station.
What can I say? I'm a likable person.
Well, you come to me talking of Morales and a plot to what? Undo me? And you come offering what exactly?
Information. Unless I'm wrong. Let me rephrase. Were I in your position, I would like to know what could happen in the place where I do my business. And if I lived over a bomb, I would be interested in knowing about it. Perhaps even defusing it, but that would be presumptuous.
You're right. I do very much like knowing what is going on in my backyard. I make a point of it. This is why I know you cannot be trusted. I know of your history with the Gatis. I know that you somehow convinced Mr. Foster to go and call a meeting to hold the Gatis accountable for the disappearance of your friend. A clever play, to be sure. Your assumptions about them were correct. They did not get approval for that kind of action here. At this point, she kind of like gestures as she's approaching where like a couple of like Acosta like guards are standing. She like waves her hand and they like step out of the way, and she swipes a card and door like slides open, and like you guys walk into like a hangar where there's some business going on. Looks like some people are like loading up like a really big like double propeller like helicopter, like a cargo helicopter. And she like gestures over to a table kind of set off to the side, like with a round table with like a kind of a curved bench, like two curved benches that kind of take up part of it. She gestures to that for the two of you to like sit down. There's already like a tea set up there.
Yeah, I'll go sit down and start pouring tea.
Yeah, she sits down and she goes, "You are able to trick a Kayogati, which is not an easy feat, from my understanding. You're able to wrap Grey Foster around your finger in some way or another. And I have no reason to believe that you cannot work your charms one way or another to set me up for failure as well. So the way I see it, you are more of a threat than an asset.
If that were true, I wouldn't be pouring tea. Do you take milk or sugar?
Both. Don't skimp on the honey.
I wouldn't dream of it.
She takes a sip of it, nods, sets it down, and goes, Mr. Hollis, I appreciate what you are trying to do, but I regret to inform you have misstepped. Me and Morales are incredibly good friends. We've done many things together, and we watch each other's backs. This is why I've arranged for you to leave Tobias Station. She gestures to the helicopter. She goes, there is your ride. Bound straight for Alanasted territory. First stop, Lily Ridge. Akeogati will be very pleased to meet you a second time. Perhaps for the first real time. Unless, and she like opens up her jacket to reveal like a gun, and she like rests her hand on it. She goes, you have a counteroffer. We could resolve things right now. And she's going to challenge you.
Bet she's good at challenge. Sure. I spend all of my rehearsal.
Okay, so how many negatives is that?
Oh,
She's at a -10.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god.
God, I feel like I'm gonna need this for the flashback, but then I bamboozle her 4 times.
So much grit for me.
I'll live on this razor's edge, Tommy. Okay.
What's your highest?
It's a 4.
Okay. Well,
You know what the important thing is? Mathematically, I don't think she's allowed to beat that.
yeah. The best I could do would be to spend grit to count this 2.
Okay. The train stops there.
So how many net successes do you have?
Over what?
No successes, because I would need to spend grit to count the 2.
Great. I have 2 net hits.
Okay. So you succeed at the challenge, which means she basically she gets first right of refusal. She can either concede and we can figure out what happens, or it can move to normal combat on your behest if she doesn't concede, or it can move to quick draw, like a showdown on your behest. But first thing that happens is she gets the chance to concede, and I think she will concede. Do you have any idea for what's the result of this kind of squaring off that you and her have?
I don't know what I get out of it, but I know that the immediate resolution of her challenge is she's, or we could flash my gun, fix this up right here, and I finish pouring my tea. And then I think about it for a second and I drop 2 sugars in. And I pour a little bit of milk, think, and set it down. And then get some honey, stir it around, and take a sip, and then set it down. No, I don't think I'll be leaving.
Okay, so this is what I think, because the concession is kind of a give and take, right?
Yeah.
You guys don't throw down. She gets some stuff, but you get some stuff. Basically, it's like a compromise. It's a narrative compromise where conflict does not happen. A violent conflict does not happen, and instead, something else happens.
So here's what I would love.
Sure.
I would love if she believed that I had another extremely dangerous card up my sleeve that she did not know about.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is, regardless of the way it gets there, I think you're able to impress her enough with whatever you say, or the way you've started to react and will continue to react to this situation. And I think you will find you find one last way to change her mind. But the give and take of this is, I think the thing you get in the concession is that she is now an ally who is going to help you take down Morales.
Okay.
But the return that she gets is obviously no violence right now. And secondly, so basically it's a big give and a big take. I'm thinking she's gonna help you with your thing, help you take down Morales, but you have to do it in a way that allows her to put someone into that position that she wants. And in doing so, you walk away from this conversation 100% sure that you and her agree that this is one of the extremely rare instances where you make a deal with a member of the family and there aren't strings attached. This is we conclude our business, you go on your way, we don't call on you again.
Okay. Yeah, can I clarify?
Yeah.
Is there room... So, she gets someone she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Is there room for me to, in the future that will proceed, come after this, become that person?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've already... So she is straight up an ally. Basically,
Excellent.
the one thing that needs to happen is that you need to do everything in your power to actually make good on this deal, and she will do everything in her power to make good on this deal. You two walk away with absolute certainty that the other person is going to do the best that they can to try and make good on this deal.
Good. Excellent. Okay, cool. I know how this goes now.
Yeah, so you say, I don't think I'll be leaving.
I don't think I'll be leaving. This is wonderful tea, by the way. Where did you get this? Is this imported?
It's from the Wrists.
Oh, interesting. So, I have no interest in going back to Lily Ridge. I've stood in the center of Akeo Gati's manor, walked out with a drone full of missiles, and left her in the dust. Seems boring to retread old news. You, I think, understand who and what I am. Or at least, you're starting to. I've been all over this world, and I've been in so many bad situations where people a lot like you have looked at me and rightfully surmised, I'm not going to shoot you. There's nothing in my power I can do to physically harm really anyone myself. But the thing that all of those people have in common is that I'm alive and they're dead. So, I think I will stay in Tobias Station. And I will continue to be sort of the hero of the masses that I have become. And perhaps the only person who knows the true extent of the horrors of the ventilation systems and how it might be weaponized against the upper crust. And also, I think you can tell from this conversation that I am willing to do that. If it comes to it, if it means me and mine are safe. But I prefer not to. I prefer to have a civil relationship wherein we can work together towards a common goal. And I do, in my heart, truly believe that Morales is trying to set you up. Now, I don't care about that personally, but it does happen to immediately affect my goals. And so, in this rare moment, it is in our interests to be on the same side for a time. Don't you agree?
Your reputation, she says, covering up her gun, is well earned.
I think so.
The fact that someone as capable and dangerous as you, with your two friends, were able to instigate such trouble in this station under Morales's rule, it does tend to show that perhaps there is a better option. I take no joy in replacing someone who has been so helpful. But business is business. If you can take down Morales with my help, and you make sure that the Acostas come out on top in the arrangement, well, I don't think you need to leave Tobias Station anytime soon.
I'm so glad we agree. I would like to try and get a read. I've mentioned it a few times. Did she kill Ephraim?
Are you rolling empathetic, or are you just doing an opposed roll?
I'm gonna do both.
Okay, yeah, go with empathetic. It's the unopposed one, right?
Yeah. Empathetic is personality as an attribute only, right?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. That's 3 hits.
Cool. So, with that, you can tell she is duly impressed by you, and given the arrangement of the concession, you are able to think like, yep, as long as I shoot straight on this deal, she will shoot straight on this deal, and if I can make it so that works out, like, this can be our way to like get out from under the family, to make it so that we don't owe them anything. This is a one and done type deal. Not quite the same exact feeling you got from your deal with Bahara or any other deal you've ever made with any member of the family. There's always been the only way out's in a box.
Fair. I've been running a con on them every time.
You also get the sense that yeah, sure. With 3 hits, save as the secondary roll. At first, you get the sense that she is entirely capable of killing Ephraim. Your earlier thing where you were like, I don't think, like, that's crazy that you would kill your childhood friend's, like, lover. That's insane. She is extremely capable of that type of cruelty. She comes across to you as cold, calculating, and ruthless. She doesn't take things personally, and everything is just through a lens of what is like efficient and correct for her family and her own business, like her own progress in this world. So you've mentioned Ephraim a few times, and you just kind of keep gauging her reaction to that, and there's like never a moment where she gives you an emotional reaction to that at all, which, for one thing, as like a good friend to Salem Bahara, you would think she would at least have like some sort of like emotional response to hearing the name of like her good friend's dead lover. And so you, based on what she said and the way she said it and her reactions to what you have said, you get the pretty strong sense that she had a hand in killing Ephraim and Morales helped.
I don't know if that's good, but I'm happy to know
it. Yeah. You think you are stepping up, you are in a job interview to replace the last person who helped her commit you're in a job interview to replace the person who was loyal enough to her to kill Ephraim and cover it up.
Great.
And it's going well.
I love it when you can tell, you know? It's
Yeah.
such a good feeling, especially in this economy.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's probably all you get with the 3 hits. That's probably
Sure.
Cool. So she goes, if you would like to return to your bar, continue about your business. I'm sure Ephraim will be very interested to hear what's going on. No doubt he has heard that you've accosted me.
I have to assume that in the real world of Manifest, she said Salem.
What did I say?
Ephraim.
Yeah.
Ephraim ain't thinking shit.
No. Salem. He will no doubt have heard that you have accosted me. No doubt as well, Mr. Foster, who seems to have a keen interest in you, will want to speak with you soon as well. The way I see it, you have made a friend of many different families. You use that to your advantage. You let me know what you need from me. You take down Morales. It doesn't flash back on me. We put someone else in charge. I'll let you know when I've decided who. And like at that moment with like your 3 empathetic, she's like considering you.
You're on the short list.
We begin a bright new world in Tobias Station.
I do love when you can conduct civil business over tea.
It is the only way to do it. So rarely does it not end in blood.
Truly a shame. And I raise my glass to toast.
She raises her glass as well, takes a sip of her tea, sets it down, and then stands up and goes, now, I do have business to attend to. If you need to reach out to me, you can use this LRC. And she hands you, she holds out her LRC to tap it against yours to send you a contact.
Great. I tap it.
Cool. And then she goes, I look forward to seeing what you are truly capable of.
I just give her a nod and leave.
And she watches you go. And you walk right by that Jimmy, who's kind of her bodyguard, who nods at you as you walk by.
James?
And you leave the hangar. Right as they're closing up the hatch of the helicopter. And the rotors start moving.
Great. Is it too early for fried ice cream?
No, it's actually right around that time.
I'm gonna get fried ice cream.
Yeah, you are able to go to, I wrote down her name somewhere. Ice cream, Velma. You go to Velma Hess. Yeah, you're able to go to Velma's stall. You walk through. You do notice some of the security guards watching you as you're leaving. like as you kind of leave Acosta territory and start moving your way into the main level. And then at some point, while you're buying your frozen ice cream in the middle of the trading bazaar, that kind of escort from the security team seems to get lifted.
Happy day.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna get some fried ice cream.
Mhm.
I don't think it'll travel well enough to bring it back to the bar for everyone, right?
I mean, if you go straight to the bar.
Sure, yeah, I'm coming back with 5 fried ice creams.
All right. And
6, because I'm eating one of them on the way there.
so you get like a little a little tray. You put together a tray with like a machinery cube, and then have all the ice cream on, and then you walk through the trading bazaar, and make your way down into the lower levels. Kinsey and Pax, what are you doing in Umbras at this moment? It's a little after noon.
I am working on the jukebox.
Are you putting in a new button?
I certainly am.
Okay, perfect. So you got the jukebox open. You're working on that. Pax, what about you?
I think I'm just hanging out. I don't have an agenda.
Okay.
So
So you're hanging out. Marshall Yin has exited the back. He's sitting in a way where he can see the front door. He is armed at the moment. He has his gun ready. He's drinking a drink, watching, kind of having like slight conversation with Kinsey, being like, "So his name's Bobby Klein, and you met him at what in Soldina? I think I heard of that place. That place is in the middle of nowhere."
And see, that's why Bobby Klein needs us to carry his music to the rest of the Badlands. No, to all of Manifest.
Sure, I suppose. I've always been more of a Diana Ritchie myself.
I suppose I can put on a Ritchie tune if you like.
Yeah, and you're able to put on it's a Deanna Ritchie song, and it starts off with the usual like kind of like it's got that big band, and this one's got a bass line. It's like ba-dum, dum, 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 ba-dum, dum, dum,
yeah.
and then it's like I wanna be where the people are.
Oh my God.
I wanna see them dancing, walking around on those, what do you call them? Oh, feet. Flipping your fins, don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along
Oh, man.
down what's that word again? A street. And at that, the door opens up, and there's Roland holding a tray of fried ice cream.
Well, don't just stand there. Get the fried ice cream. It's going to go bad soon.
And that's where we're going to take a break.
God damn it. You son of a bitch.
Moving on to intermission. It's going to be a 10-minute intermission. I have 9:45 on my clock. We'll be back around 9:55. Those of you watching, thanks for watching so far. We'll see you after this break. Go get some drinks, some snacks. Use the restroom. Call your mom. Go register to vote. All right, we'll be back. Hello, and welcome back.
Such a weirdo, Tommy.
I am. This is true. Welcome back. Okay, so when we last left off, Kinsey and Pax and the rest of the people in Umbras were nervously awaiting to hear back from Roland, watching the radio, being ready for any moment where he sends a transmission, some kind of distress signal, some kind of information that lets them know whether or not he is okay. It's getting into the afternoon. Tensions are high. And then the door opens up, and Roland is standing there presenting a tray full of fried ice cream.
Come on, get it. Well, it's good. I've eaten one already, and I'm eating. This one is mine. You can't have it.
I think Kinsey immediately gets up and kind of like... He wants to come up and tackle him, but he carefully kind of like ducks under the ice cream to make sure not to spill any of it and give him a good pat on the back.
Oh, okay. I mean, you were the one kidnapped, but it's good to see you too.
Let's just say I never thought we'd see each other again, no matter what the circumstances.
That's true. I was pretty sure you were gonna die.
Fair enough. I'll take my ice cream.
Marshall Yen is
This
sitting
is a
off to
weird
the side.
reception. Not what I expected when I brought the ice cream. I'm just gonna set it down here. It's heavy. I'm not very strong.
It was a hell of an entrance, I mean.
Hazel walks over and grabs an ice cream.
Hazel the best.
She's like, "Thanks, boss."
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Pax, what are you doing?
I sort of like stand up. I stand up like awkwardly, and I like smile for a minute, and then it's like we need more liquor. And I like go into the kitchen.
Okay. I'm getting a weird vibe here. What's happened? What?
Oh, no, she's right. We just need more liquor. Why don't we go check on that?
Yes, let's.
Marshall Yen steps up, picking up his hat off the table, and like tries to make eye contact with Kinsey to suss out whether or not he's invited.
No, you're not allowed to be out here alone. Come on. I say to Marshall Yen.
So Marshall Yen goes back with, and on the way, Roland, you do spy Harry just like staring at you with an easily readable like expression of it's a pained expression is the easy part that's to read, is that she's like a little shocked and a little pained.
Great. Okay. Well, this was a great day. Till now. But now I can see. We're gonna... Nope. This is fine. And we get into the back.
I'm washing dishes.
That bad, huh? What did I miss?
Just development. No, nothing. Right, exactly.
Marshall Yen seems like awkward with what's going on.
Hold on. And I leave. And then I come back in. So, what did I miss? Okay, Harry is on the verge of tears, Pax is doing dishes, and Kinsey has asked me to check on the liquor we might need. What did I miss?
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's
Very
good.
glad you're not dead, and that you're not dead, mostly.
Yes. Yes, Harry is very glad that you're not... Should he just talk to Harry?
No.
I mean, Harry's going to want to talk to him anyway. He's going to figure it out. It's not like we're great liars back.
Fine. Let me tell you about my day, and then you tell me what I missed. I've had a couple of very productive chats over the past 24 hours. I've spoken to Mr. Foster, who has rightfully gotten on the horn with the rest of the Sheffields, and as I suspected, the Gartees did not ask permission for such a brazen act of kidnapping on sort of family-neutral ground, and have been somewhat reprimanded, at least, for that. He will want to come around the bar and discuss our sort of other plans moving forward. I spoke with Captain Morales, who threatened me and then tried to hire me, which is a weird flip, and it's not a good look for her. And then I spoke with Miss Acosta, who is in agreement with me that Morales has to go, and would love to help us do that. Secretly.
So now we kind of have to tell him, right?
Well, we went to find Kinsey. And Leonard and I both almost died.
Oh no. Well, I'm glad to see that you didn't.
And
Kinsey, is your finger in the icebox still?
Oh, yes, yeah. What, you're just going to set it back on, aren't you?
I don't know how to do that.
I thought you're some sort of fancy doctor.
I mean, you know, I've read an anatomy textbook here and there, but...
Right, so for you, that's basically the same thing as, you know...
My PhD is in literature, and also, I think you gotta get it back on pretty quick for it to be okay.
Oh my god. Oh, I almost just sprayed my drink all over. Marshall Yen sits down.
Okay, sorry. It's very distracting, the bloody rag around your hand. So, you almost died, but you didn't, and I'm glad about that. I assume Sierra is dead?
yes.
Okay, that's something.
And we came back here, and you weren't here. And we didn't know where you were. And then you radioed, which you know happened.
He was there.
Yeah. Thank you, Kinsey. And then nothing for like another 18 hours. With no word. And then you could walk in with just ice cream. Like everything is fine.
Yes, thank you for that, by the way. It was delicious.
And everything is not fine. And I don't like pretending that it's fine. And putting on a brave face when I'm worried sick and everyone else has a knot in their stomach, because even though you're a jerk 90% of the time, everybody likes you. Because genuinely, you might be a good person. Maybe. And your family and all this dealing with the family is bad, and we should stop. And we have so many people we've lined up to be our enemies here, and we put people like Harry in the middle who don't deserve to be in the middle, who just deserve to be safe. And we've done the opposite. And she's been forced into this position to spy on us. And that's our fault. And you walk in the door with ice cream, and everything is going to be okay. Having accomplished, I guess, a lot. So thank you. I'm glad you're alive, but I'm not. This is not what we talked about. We didn't talk about unilaterally making big moves. This was about raising a community up. This was about lasting change. And it feels like we're setting up for one temporary big change, and then we're going to walk out the door, scorched earth. That's not what I want. That's not why I wanted to do this. And I'm mad. I'm mad at you for going it alone. And I know I said it was fine, but I didn't think you were going to go to the Acostas and the sheriff, and I thought you were just going to go to Gray Foster. I thought you were just going to talk to him and like maybe get his help. I thought we were going to tackle one thing at a time. I thought we were going to do it together. And instead, I just spent a whole day, 2 days worried about Kinsey and then you, and being okay in front of everyone. And it's not okay, and I'm angry. And ice cream is not enough.
Do the two of you want to stay in Tobias Station permanently?
I mean, not particularly.
I don't know. We've worked so hard to be here.
I've had a lot of time to think about the realistic endgame of everything we've put into motion. And largely through things that I have done. We have ties to a number of the families of Manifest, and I can't change that. But someone is going to have to take Morales' place when all this is over. And I don't think it's going to be Kinsey. And I don't think you want it to be you, Pax. Because it means you have to deal with the people that we are not in a position to make leave, namely the family. And so, what I have done, admittedly, unilaterally, I have put myself in a position to be that person, so the two of you can do whatever you want with the rest of your life. Because that's what I want for the two of you. And it's within my means to make it happen, I think. And so I've made myself a known entity and painted a very large target on my back and waved a flag from the rooftops, so that should this house of cards we have built together come crumbling down, it lands on me and not the two of you. I'm sorry that I'm sorry you're upset, and I'm sorry it's my fault.
Thank you. I didn't want you to do that.
No, of course not. You're a much better person than me. You wouldn't ask.
Roll.
Does this mean you're breaking up the roadkin?
I have no idea how this ends. I've never had any idea how any of this ends. That's my gift, you see, is Pax is an invisible woman who can kill anything that she comes into contact with, and you, I guess, are like sort of a wilderness avatar of Manifest. I don't fully understand your thing, Kinsey, to be perfectly honest, but it's clear
Honestly, neither do I.
you're an outdoorsman of some repute, and you're very good friends with the jackalope. And my thing is, I make people believe. And I'm sorry if I've made you believe that I knew how any of this might turn out at any point. Because the best I'm working with is an idea of how I'd like it to turn out, and a bit of a plan of how to get there. But, to be perfectly honest, anything could happen. So, not yet. But it's an endgame that I have foreseen, and it's one I've made moves to make possible, because it means the two of you get to leave, and you don't have to look over your shoulders.
You should go talk to Harry. Be nice.
I will. You should eat your fucking ice cream, because it's really fucking good ice cream.
Oh, really
It's
fucking
going to go bad. Leonard, we're not really friends, but I'm glad you're here and good at shooting. And I leave.
Yen steps up or stands up, grabbing like a cloth napkin from like the center of the table, walks over to Pax and like hands it to her.
Thanks.
I'll get it now.
Good. We don't have to have the conversation again.
And he brings you in for like a hug.
Yeah, definitely.
And then he steps back, puts his hands on your shoulder, and go. I saw Eugene eyeing that ice cream. You better get out there.
Okay. Apparently I have to eat ice cream. And I go and I'll go get an ice cream.
And he looks to you, Kinsey. He goes, think I must stick around just a little bit longer.
We'd appreciate the help, but Yen, don't you break her heart.
He like sits with that for a second and then goes, honestly, Kinsey, if I step out of line, I don't think you get the chance to kill me.
You get it.
He's like awkwardly like accepting, and he's like, all right, this is my life now. Yeah, Roland, you step out. Also, everyone can have a grit. Excellent role playing.
Yes. 12 grit. I'm back, baby.
God damn it.
Give me.
Now Addie's set up to do a flashback inside a flashback inside a flashback.
The way it's revealed, it was never meant to be me.
Yeah, so Roland, were you going straight to talk to Harry, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go fucking talk to Hazel.
Yeah, so you walk up. Harry is kind of sitting there, and
I grab a fried ice cream because I did get one for her.
Thanks. This from Velma's place?
It is.
Last time I had this, I was like maybe like 7 or so. She saw me and she had some leftovers, so she whipped me up one. It was honestly, I kind of surprised I remember that. That's weird. She like takes a bite of it and like kind of like sits with the taste of it for a second, tasting the memory, and then she kind of like comes back to the situation and she goes, so I'm sorry.
Okay. Sure. I'm more interested in what you have learned.
What do you mean?
Like, you are a smart girl. You understand the arrangement we have here. Pax likes you a lot and wants a better life for you than what she had and what you have. And so she's tried to teach you skills, and I've tried to teach you some skills, and I assume Kinsey has maybe tried to teach you some things, perhaps through osmosis or just good cooking. So, you know, I've done all sorts of things because it's what I had to do to survive. What did you learn?
And she like sits with it for a little bit longer than you would initially expect, as she kind of like pieces it together in her head. And then she goes, she's scared of you. All three of you. I guess I didn't actually really think about it before. I mean, she kind of looms big. She's been, bossing me around for some time, but yeah, she's never, like, you're not the first drifters that come into town, right? There's been others. I mean, they don't stay quite as long as you do, and the few that have, she's gotten in line. But you guys, almost from the get-go, I mean, as soon as Leo saw me at that bar, or saw me at the bar, they cornered me and took me to talk to her, and she made it clear that I had to talk to you guys, and I didn't think much about it. When she says jump, you do it. You don't second guess or whatever. But I had never seen her take that much of an interest, especially in the lower levels. I mean, she had Leo keeping an eye on you, talking to me, and you can't really get anything by Leo. So yeah, she thinks you guys are a threat. And that's different. That's new. That's not something I've seen before.
See, now you're starting to get it, Harry. That's the point of the lock. Sometimes you have to do whatever it is you have to do to not be dead. And if that's spying on people who are doing a nice thing for you, that's spying on people who are doing a nice thing for you. But if a powerful person makes a show of force to get you to do something, it means they can't ask nicely and make you do it. And if they can't ask nicely, it means they're scared. And if they're scared, it means they will make mistakes. And if they will make mistakes, it means they can be leveraged. And if they can be leveraged, they're already beaten. They just don't know it yet.
All this time I thought you were just, some asshole who was only thinking like 15 minutes ahead and not playing a long game, just kind of coming up with whatever lie was convenient, but wow.
Do you want to know the secret, Harry? It's both. You have to do both. Sometimes you need to know where you're going to be a week from now. And sometimes you need to know where you're going to be a month from now. And sometimes you just need to know where you're going to be next. And knowing which time is which is why I'm not dead.
Well, I want to be here. And whatever it is you guys are doing, whatever that room is under the barrel that Kinsey filled up with guns, whatever it is you got going on, I'm there for it.
Great. Welcome to the revolution, Harry.
She like smiles at that, almost thinking for a second that it's a joke, and then like covering up really quickly that she realizes that's what she just signed on for. She's like, And how did things go with Severina? I only met her the
She
one
flashed a
time.
gun at me, and I backed her down with words.
What? You could teach Salem a thing or two. She's been walking over him since they were my age.
History is a way of making things like that hard. It's one of the benefits of more or less only meeting people once, usually.
Sure. Well, you guys, you let me know what it is you want me to do. If it's, keep talking to Morales. I can also, if you need someone to talk to Salem for you. How's that going? I know it's only been a day.
I've made a little headway. I'm not really ready to share the details with you just yet.
Okay. But you're going to share them with Salem, right?
When I have a more complete picture. Right now, I have mights and maybes.
Okay.
And I don't think that does him any good.
Sure. I just know, I met Ephraim before. What they had, it was like something out of a book. Something out of a story. Something that Severina never seemed to understand. Anyways, I just don't forget about him and what you promised. Okay?
Don't you worry. I don't forget about anyone I've made a promise to.
Okay.
Stick around for now. I don't know what Pax told you, but she wouldn't let you leave if you tried.
That's fair. Reminds me of the first time I met her. Pax and Kinsey, what are you up to?
Eating ice cream probably by the front door, because that's where Roland put it.
Mm-hmm. It's good. It's very good ice cream.
Yeah.
Velma makes good fried ice cream.
Yeah.
And Kinsey's going to finish up that button.
Sure.
And he's going to put on some Bobby Klein.
Yeah, Roland, you see as Kinsey puts the you saw he was working on the jukebox before, and he finishes it, steps back and regards his work, and you walk over to grab your second ice cream, or at least grab the tray.
No, because Hazel took one, and I have selflessly forfeit my second ice cream to be shared with the team.
And you see that Kinsey has put a button on the jukebox that says B. Klein.
Kinsey?
Yep.
You're a smart guy.
As you've told me.
You remember the conversation we had when I built a jukebox, right?
When something along the lines of, under no circumstances are we putting any Bobby Klein in here.
Mm-hmm.
But, listen, give it a shot.
Kinsey, you are extremely lucky that today is the day on which you have decided to do this. Because this, today, cannot ruin today. If you had decided to do this yesterday, I would have destroyed this jukebox. If you had done this tomorrow, I would have destroyed it and put a sign that said you did it. But today, I will give it a shot. I press the button with Bobby Klein on it.
So he presses the button.
Mm-hmm.
And a familiar tune starts playing. And Kinsey, you know you didn't want him to press that button. Because it comes on Badlands Road.
No,
Take
not
me
that.
home
It's,
to the
Harry,
place.
hit the kill switch!
I
Hit the kill switch!
belong.
Harry!
Markham's Landing.
No! Harry, stop
Fashion
him!
a screwdriver and unscrew the top.
Harry dives over and like slams her hand on the jukebox, like hitting it like the Fonz. and she steps in front of it, in front of you, Roland, and she goes, "Give him a chance, Roland." And then a banjo starts playing. It's like, Gritter went down to Waypoint. He was looking for some spurs to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind. He was looking to make a deal. When he came across the young man picking a banjo, playing it hot, and like she's like, huh? Pax.
Kinsey, look at me. Don't look at her. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you had this cartridge?
I snuck it in there a couple of months ago.
No. That's not the question I've asked. Was this an option when you played the same one
Oh, this other one. Oh.
over and over for days?
Mercifully, this is one that you got from your mom. Oh no, this is one of the ones he gave you when you left Soldina.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Fire on the mountain, run, boys, run. Grifters in the house of the rising gun.
I was trying to work my way through his oeuvre.
Harry, based on actions you have taken in the past, for recompense, you're going to get out of the way now.
She steps out of the way.
And I open up the case, and I take the Bobby Klein cartridge that is the one that we listened to over and over and over and over, and I hold it up, and I 3D print a blowtorch, and I melt it.
Harry walks over and like takes Kinsey's hand.
Kinsey, this one is fine. It can stay.
That's fair enough.
And
I allow myself to be led away by Harry.
I set the top back down, I screw the case back on, and make it nice and clean and pretty.
As it gets a little bit later in the evening, there's a point where someone walks in the bar, makes kind of catches wherever you are, Roland, and walks over, leans on the bar, and Harry goes, "What can I get you?" And this man just looks at you, Roland, and goes, "Nothing." And Harry looks a little confused.
Go refill a barrel or whatever, Harry.
She steps back, moves off to the side, and he goes, "You should check your LRCs when you get the chance. Just thought you'd like to know."
Okay. And your name?
He steps back, looks over, sees Eli sleeping on the end of the bar, taps the bar a couple times, looks up at like the ceiling, and goes, "Nice place," and walks out.
It's a pleasure to meet you, James.
Oh, hi, Dag.
Yeah, I like whichever of Kinsey and Pax is nearby. I make eye contact. Just gonna go run and check the LLC. I'll be back.
Could you check mine as well? I messaged the Nomad pack.
Oh, that's a good call. I did tell them you were kidnapped.
Yeah. They may still be coming by to see the bar.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah, it would do.
Will that be? It'll be useful.
I'll come with you. I was gonna go for a jog anyway.
Sure. I can't keep up if you're gonna jog.
I'm not. I'll wait.
Yeah, so the two of you are able to walk to the LRC.
Weirdly, apparently, I jog with my knife sticks. Stick knife.
They're like jogging weights, like weight for body workout.
Yeah. At least this time I've chosen that.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any conversation to be had on your way to the LRC, but you get to the LRC, no problem. No? Okay. I just want to make sure. I didn't know if Pax was going to be like, listen here, Roland. Yeah, so you make it to the LRC. You're able to pull up...
Oh, sorry. There is. I forgot there is. So, you and Leonard, huh?
Yeah.
And?
Good. He used your pillow.
It's a great pillow. I can't blame him.
Yeah, he said so, but he didn't really like the hammock.
It's fine. It's the... Oh, very nice. Very good.
Yeah. So, be nice to him.
Okay. I'm
griffs.
nice to everyone.
No griffs.
I am trapped in a knot of almost every family on Manifest. I don't need also a marshal who is the son of an ambassador tied in there as well because of me. Because of you is totally fine, but not because of me.
That's weirdly sweet. But also, let's just don't make it weird.
I won't.
Just
I'm
don't. It's not weird.
It's not weird.
Yeah. That's what I said.
I know. I'm acknowledging it and saying back to you.
He's gonna stay for a little while. Don't be weird about it.
Why? I'm not gonna be. Why would I? Why do you think I would be weird about it?
I don't know. You could be. You don't really like him.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say we're friends, but I don't have any particular dislike of him. Most of our relationship between me and him has been him trying to arrest me again. So there's not a lot of positive memories aside from the time he let me go.
Okay. Was he the one who caught you?
Well, the second time.
Sure.
I mean, we sort of caught him.
Yeah.
Then he was very insistent that we be arrested. Which I promise not to hold against him.
Okay. Just so we're on the same page. It's
Absolutely.
not weird. It's not
It
weird.
isn't.
So you slot in Kinsey's LRC. You get a message from Tusk that is, you tell that spindly-legged Roman that that if he's gonna send me a message saying my Kinsey's in danger, he better get his facts straight, because I was about to burn the Badlands down on the way over. He could have gotten people killed. You let him know that. I'm glad you're safe. Can't wait to see your bar. Red Wheel says hi.
I don't know what
They make
she
the
thought.
same spelling mistakes.
I don't know what she thought I wanted from her. I did want people to get killed. Namely, the people who had kidnapped Kinsey. Whatever.
Slot that out. Slotting your tag. And you have a message from Severina Acosta. And it reads, as I spend my day learning more about your exploits in the lower levels, I am pleased by what I found. Champion of the people indeed. Meanwhile, the good captain's disdain for you is formidable, and the events of today have honed her intentions to a dangerous edge. And then there's a part in quotes that says, one should not build castles in the sand and expect them to last. And that quote ends, and it says, time is of the essence. Viva la revolution.
The woman does have a way with words.
What's gonna make the castles go away in the sand?
The water.
What water?
Have you never been to the beach? Okay. You have to go to literally any beach. Tell Kinsey to take you to a beach. Kinsey has to have been to a beach. He's been everywhere that's outside.
Yeah, Warner Lake has some nice beaches. It's a bit cold. It's like the beach in Chicago.
Yeah.
Like,
sometimes nice, usually not.
yeah.
Yeah, no, so the way lakes work is, and I explained it.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait. But sorry, does that mean she wants it to start like
She's telling us that time is short.
but we're not ready.
Oh, we're not ready, but we're not far from ready, which is an important distinction.
We haven't made any shields.
You mean literally, right? Or do you mean metaphorically?
No, like physical shields people can hold up. We haven't broken into the electrical system for the doors so we can shut them so that people can be safe. We haven't put in any protections. We haven't gotten the supplies for barricades. We haven't, and also we don't even have a count on how many people she has. We can't just go in an all-out thing party. We can't have a big party just directly at them.
You fucking weirdo, Tommy.
Look, there's a lot of accents in this thing, and I gotta sometimes get prepared. I gotta sometimes beat her down.
I thought you were doing a thing.
I thought
I thought you were too. Oh my god. There's a guy who's been in the corner the whole time.
Oh my god.
No, keep going. I forgot to mute myself in both Discord and the stream.
Okay, so everyone saw how weird you were.
Yeah.
No. The stream is just go.
Okay. We can't just take it head on. We're not ready. We can't just.
She's not saying tomorrow. But now is the time to do those things, is what she is saying.
We have to come up with a attack plan. We have to. Okay.
Packs?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be okay. But we are capable and prepared and knew what we were getting into. And Morales has no fucking clue. Except that we are dangerous.
Okay.
This can be done. And that's what matters.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like we should get on the sort of electrical grid.
Yeah,
thing.
no,
You
we
mentioned
should,
that's a
like,
very
we've
good
got a
idea.
lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, probably.
Kinsey, what are you up to?
I'm just waiting for them to come back. Maybe I'll, I do have some guns to finish up, and I'm debating whether or not I should flash back to do that, or if we're going to be working on that before the revolution.
Well, but what are you doing in this moment where they're away checking the LRC? Just hanging out at the bar?
Just hanging out at the bar.
Cool. So the door to the bar does open, and in walks nice heeled shoes clattering on the floor, silvery white suit, well coiffed hair, beautiful little mustache, and goatee. In walks Gray Foster, and he goes, "Kinsey, my good man. I'm glad to see that you are all right."
Yes, thank you for coming to check in on me, Mr. Foster. Yes, quite an adventure, as you can see, and I indicate my missing finger.
Do tell me everything.
So, here I was, just wandering the streets, like the fool that I am. And out of nowhere comes one of my old enemies. Have I told you about the Dead Banks gang yet?
I do believe you referred to some of your exploits, though you did not say them by name. However, I am a man who does my research, and I am familiar with them.
Of course you are. Why am I not surprised? Well, it was Miss Sierra Phillips, who, as I believe my compatriot told you, was the only one to escape from our confrontation.
Indeed.
I tried to take care of her. I took one final shot and right over her head. So, I'm going to tell him the whole story of the kidnapping and, of course, how I was able to mentally communicate with my jackalope in order to get my compatriots into an area where they could attack. And
well, now I know you are spinning a yarn. There is no way you could communicate with your jackalope from that far away. Though I do love the way you tell it.
Are you saying you want me to bring Umbra right here, right now? Without communicating? You can watch me. I won't talk to anyone.
He, sizes you up. Looks around. Eli's kind of, half listening. Marshall Yen has turned in for the night, or at least is in the back room. There's not many people here. And he goes, "Well, then, do show me your mysterious ways, Mr. Charlotte."
I will activate the talent. Is it man's best friend or?
Yeah, you use your mental connection with.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's Umbra up to?
Just in the stables. Probably had. So you reach out and you feel like Umbra connect with you. In the stables, kind of having laid down with a ear over his face. His ears pop up, and he turns and connects with you. It seems like he's had a pretty good day. He's got a full belly. He's feeling pretty good. He's feeling well exercised, but he has added tension. With this new connection you've put, you've forged.
Sure. I guess kind of out loud, mostly for the benefit of Foster. Say, "Hello, old friend. Would you like to come see your bar?"
Foster is like chuckling, and Umbra kind of like gets up from like his sleeping position, and you get the sense like Umbra always would like to be with you.
Yeah. Is anything bad going to happen to Umbra if he wanders the streets of Tobias Station alone?
Maybe.
He's pretty invincible. I'm gonna go ahead and send him the invitation.
You're gonna have him break out of. You're like, go ahead, break out of the stables just this once, so I can impress my friend Gray. Yeah. That happens. Umbra can break out of the stables. Umbra's very capable and has many dice to roll at the situation. And they have they mostly house like horses and workin and vehicles, a lot of vehicles. Not that actually that many animals, and very few jackalopes. In fact, Umbra is the only jackalope that they have. And the interior has like this area where they run them around that has like these elevated ceilings that have open air windows for like fresh air to get in. And so Umbra like bursts out, and like the stable hands freak out. They're like, "Get him! Get him!" And they go chasing after him. They shoot a neck shot at him to try and capture him, but he manages to avoid it and like leaps into the track that they use to like give the animals exercise, and like jumps up through that window, clearing it. And like as he's leaping through, you hear someone go, "The other way! Get outside!" And Umbra before they can even exit the stables, Umbra has made it into the station, disturbing quite a few people, even at this late hour, because the station doesn't really, especially the trading bazaar, never really stops. So this jackalope goes running through, down into the lower levels. Roland and Pax, you're walking back towards the station. Getting into like just starting to get into the station, coming into like one of the big entrances, and you hear this massive commotion. You see a tent overturn and people shouting, and like the crowd parts, and then leaping over the crowd and leaping over the two of you is Umbra. Unmistakable with his unique coloration, flies over you, lands in a stairwell, and then like bowls over two people as he runs down the stairs towards Umbra's.
Are you?
Probably a different jackalope, right?
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Unless okay. And I like start running after Umbra, because obviously something has gone terribly wrong, and Kinsey has called Umbra to his aid.
Yeah. So you sprint through, heart like pumping, like blood pumping, like you can barely even hear the shouts at this point, as you're like, there's a point where like there's people who are like recovering from the jackalope that just bowled through the hallway, and like they're getting up, and instead of like trying to push through them, like you like parkour your way up onto the wall and like run along the wall and drop down without like missing a beat as you're sprinting like full, like you have your blades out and everything, like you're ready, thinking like you're like, okay, if there's like three of them, I can kick up this table, I can use it for cover. Like you're already starting to like formulate battle plans, like everything is like this cold and hot sensation at the same time as you're like ready for action, and you skid to a stop, like with like almost a practiced like hitting of the button to open the door, as you spin around the edge of it, and like you get ready to like get like the lay of the land for this like inevitable catastrophe that you're about to run into. And you see Gray Foster sitting on the bar, like ear to ear smiling, like feeding Umbra some like pretzels. And he's like, "I do not know how you did this, my good man, but it is quite the spectacle. You should join the carnival. This is I mean, whatever you did to train this beast. What is it? A whistle under the bar? What is your secret?
You watched me the entire time. You know I wasn't blowing a whistle.
Pax! You will not believe what Ken just did."
I can't believe what Ken just did.
Ken did. Mr. Foster didn't believe that I could call Umbra to me without even so much as a whistle or a word to him.
Yeah, that's so weird, because the last time you did that, you were in mortal peril and was about to die. So why it's crazy that you could do it a second time when none of those things are happening.
What can I say? I've got a connection to nature.
Roland, you
I
walk in.
I would actually like to just follow in like the trail of destruction and just be like helping people up and like glad handing with them. And it's like, so sorry. Here, take a coupon, take a voucher, free drink.
Come by Umbras. Yeah, and so then Roland walks in, and Roland, actually, one thing you've noticed in this particular moment is that a handful of the people you talked to on the way down here are following you because they think there's an attraction at Umbra's.
Okay.
There's like a little bit of like it looks just like the sign.
All right. Well, then I'm going to come in real big. Welcome to Umbra's, folks. The only bar in the lower levels with a real live jackalope. Like, I will like look at Pax and I will just under my breath feel like I had to pivot. It was such a bad look.
And yeah, like 6 people walk in and they're like, "Oh my god!" They're like, "I can't believe, how did that thing nearly kill me on the way in? Can I pet it?"
Of course. Come on, here. Give him some metaflower seeds. They're his favorite.
And like everyone starts feeding Umbra, and like Gray Foster is like chuckling, and then like there's this moment as he's like ear to ear smiling and like laughing with like the crowd and enjoying the scene that has kind of unfolded. He spots Roland, Pax, and Kinsey all together, and he jumps down off the bar, pushes his hair back. Everyone's distracted by Umbra, and he goes, "I believe we have business to attend to. Shall we step in the back?"
Right this way, Mr. Foster.
I'll give Umbra a little pat on the nose and I'll follow them.
And Harry like watches this happen and then turns back and is like, "All right, hey, no, hey, all right. First handful is free, all right? But if you're gonna want another sack to feed them with, you're gonna have to pay a spur." And someone's like, "Can I ride him? How much money you got?" You're like mouth like no to her, and she's like, "What if it's like 10 spurs?" And they're like, "I got 6 spurs, not enough." And that's where we'll end tonight's session, as the 3 of you walk into the back room with Gray Foster.
I believe an animal was used to solve a problem.
Was it a problem? Yeah, sure.
He didn't believe.
At the very least, Umbra giving you this little spike like in the month helps make up for the couple of days that you guys were closed.
Oh man.
Oh my.
Wonderful.
So good. All right, so we do have, I think, at least a question, if not a couple questions, in the Discord. Yep. So if any of you in the chat have any questions, now is the Q&A portion. Looks like we have one question, a couple of questions in the Discord. We're going to go through those, but if you have any questions in the chat, now's the time to do them. So Dawn13 asks, when do advancement triggers get counted? Once per session, once per scene? There was a little bit of discussion around this, and it looks like the correct consensus was reached. The advancement triggers pop up once a session. You can only get each of your triggers once per session, so the most XP you can contribute to the pot is 4, but when anyone gets an advancement trigger, everyone gets XP. Also, once you get 2 advancement triggers, you get a grit. You don't get an additional grit for getting 4 because you just get it for the 2. So that is pretty much what the consensus was during the chat that happened in the Discord. So you guys are all correct. Good job. So then the other question comes from Argitlam, who says, is there an upper limit to the size of an object possessed by an Everlight? I seem to recall that the most important ability for an illuminated spirit possessing an object is telekinesis, and that possessing a drone or a car would be less than ideal due to the complexity of piloting them. But how about a train? So first off, I mean, the telekinesis thing, that's subjective. The item does a lot, like, regardless of what item you're in. If you're an Everlight and you die and you move your consciousness into a nearby item, from that item you are able to actually potentially force your way into possessing someone, or trick them into allowing you to possess them. And at that point, mobility is not an issue because you have a body that you are controlling. However, yeah, telekinesis helps a lot because if you die alone from like heat exhaustion and like have to put yourself in like a random like object that you had on your person, it's nice to be able to telekinesis that object you're like to make it like tumble along the ground until it finds its way to where someone is so they can pick it up and then you possess them. However, there's not really a size limit. It's just a nearby object as far as I can recall. I don't have the notes up.
I don't think there's ever been a size limit. Like, the complexity of operation being like a problem is because like you're not in any way in control of the thing that you are possessing. Mm-hmm. It's just a box that you live in for your purposes. So like, if you could see the lever that made the train go and you had telekinesis, like you could make the train go, I guess. But like the reason that a drone is really tough is because like to make a drone go, you have to be in control of, like, this is not actually what it necessarily looks like, but you basically like you have to be in control of the Xbox controller that makes the drone go. You don't like get to be in control of the servos and gears within the actual drone.
Mm-hmm. The drone just houses your consciousness.
Train is actually not a bad idea because the way telekinesis works is like you get a number of uses per successful roll against an object. So like the lever that makes the train go is a pretty binary choice. And so like with a couple successes, you could get it going and then hit the brakes.
Yeah.
Also, people get on trains a lot. So
yeah,
like
plenty of times.
It's like the same thing as my doorknob theory of like you turn into a doorknob.
Yeah, I stand by doorknob being the best thing you could be an Everlight. And
yeah.
It's such a wild thing, but they had a very long discussion about it once where they're like, I think doorknob is the best because then all you have to wait is for someone to go through that door and then you can possess them. And doorknob's going to be there for a long time. Yeah, I do like Ghost Train. Ghost Train is pretty nice. That's an interesting way to do an Everlight. It's just gonna suck when they eventually like have to like do repairs or decommission your Ghost Train and then it gets put in a warehouse somewhere.
God, it's rough if you overshoot too, because like the only train on Manifest is the high-speed rail that goes very fast. So if you are slow on those brakes, it gets bad quick.
Cool. So those are the only questions we have in the Discord. If any of you who are watching have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. It can be about the session, about the game, about the players, about the story, about anything. Throw it in there. We'll answer it. To give you a moment before we sign off for the night, I know during the break we did, as a group, talk a little bit about a couple advancement triggers that were reached, but let's go ahead and go through and see whose advancement triggers got hit this session, since Roland brought up a few.
I'm positive I got 3. I think I got all 4.
Okay.
So Eugene ran the tables. Money was stolen using subtle means.
Yep.
Kinsey did change the jukebox, and then I changed it later. So a piece of gear was modified or repaired.
Yep.
I think maybe I helped someone solve a problem using my wits when I sat down and had a chat with Harry. I helped her sort out her inner turmoil using my wits.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
and then
yeah. And then you
and
did
then I
push
did
your
push
luck.
my luck despite a clear chance to fail.
Yes, absolutely. Like right from the get-go.
I woke up and got that one.
Do I stay in this house? Yes. Grit. XP. Done. All right,
That's all
cool.
mine.
So that's 4.
For Kinsey, an animal is used to solve a problem, we established.
Yeah.
A predator was evaded. I think that Roland did a fabulous job of evading Severina Acosta.
Yep.
A trap is utilized successfully. I don't think happened.
No.
Yeah, I did it.
What, when you
I went to Severina Acosta with the express purpose of getting her on our side, and she went there to kill me.
I don't know if yours is really a trap though. It's just a negotiation, right? It's a
No, you're right. Every con can't be a trap.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I got for it.
And then you do not hesitate to commit to a dangerous course of action, unless you count like stopping to observe the person following me, which didn't turn out to be that dangerous. I got nothing.
It's very silly, but I do. You went right up to that jukebox and you put a Bobby Klein on.
You called Umbra.
Yeah.
Into the city. Yeah, you know what?
Without hesitation, you offered it.
He didn't believe me.
Yeah, that was wild. That was a danger. There's so many things that could have gone wrong there.
Created a dangerous situation.
All right, so that's 3 for
Don't
me.
hesitate to create a dangerous situation.
Ooh, we should write that down.
That puts us at 7, right?
Yeah.
So, Roland was threatened with violence. Also, Leonard was threatened with violence by Kinsey.
That's right.
An open fight is avoided through underhanded means. I don't think a challenge roll and like conceding is underhanded means, but it's the only one that I can think of.
It's not really underhanded. They came to a consensus, right? They came to a deal.
Yeah.
So like that was avoided. I feel like I'm trying to remember. I feel like there was another like fight that was avoided, but maybe not. Yeah, I don't know if you got that one.
Yeah. You take something you want but don't deserve. I don't think I did that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. And you put yourself in harm's way for no reason than to protect others.
You sprinted through a Tobias Station that you know is hostile to us with your knives out, ready to kill.
Yeah. And that was to save Kinsey from what you thought was mortal peril.
I don't know why I thought that.
Crazy. You totally overreacted.
And I can't even take that grit for hitting 2 because I'm already full.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
What if there was a talent that was, you can have 1 more grit?
You can have 13 grit.
We've talked about it so many times. The gambler talent is the problem. You're not that.
So what is that, 9? Is that where we're at?
Yes.
Cool. 9 XP for you guys.
Cool.
How far? What level are you guys right now?
18.
Ooh, how far from 19?
Pretty far, I think.
20. We were at 34, so it's 25.
Okay.
So in 2 sessions, I don't think we can do it.
We can't in 2. We reasonably could in 3 if we can.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. You guys have a revolution to do. Okay. Well, I don't see any questions having popped up in the stream chat, so it appears that we are done for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. We will be back on again next week, September 29th, at 8 Central. Let's see how these 3 drifters come out on top now that they have options again.
Yeah. And go register to vote.
Go register to vote.
Register to vote.
Do it. I'm gonna put the thing in the. I'm gonna put
I
the
dare
thing.
you. I double dog dare you to register to vote.
There you go.
Well, now you
Now you
have
gotta
to
do
do
it.
it.
What are
You
you
got
gonna do?
double dog dared. So.
www.nerdsvote.com. Go vote, nerds.
Vote notes.
Go vote, nerds. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. We love you. If you haven't already, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. We will see you next week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.